Connor, let's talk about Tooney's contract because Field Yates tweeted out some details from it that I think are very
Mhm.
interesting. Signing bonus is 17 million. That wasn't originally reported. We kind of had to wait for that one to come out. He gets
Yeah.
base salaries of 990,000, 13.9, 15 million, 15.5, and then 15.5. Workout bonuses totaling 2.11 million. The structure keep Tooney's 2021 cap number at 4.5 million. And when we talk about this too, this whole restructure and everything, they haven't yet re-signed Tyrann Mathieu, which will free up another good chunk of cap space that they can play with this season too. So this just goes into once again of the Chiefs got plenty of room, plenty of money to play with.
Right. And it's just kind of classic Brett Veach in that year one was just the veteran minimum salary and the signing bonus. That was it. That's all. He did the same, I believe, for Sammy Watkins, for Tyrann Mathieu, for Frank Clark. And those are fine contracts to give out as long as you're kind of staggering when you give them out, because then you kind of stagger when the big cap hits are. So you can't like give out three in one off season, but you can do at most two. I think Trent Williams would have a bigger year one cap hit just because I don't think they would go 5 years like they did for Tooney. They would maybe do three, maybe four. So it's interesting though. It's definitely a Brett Veach contract, and I was waiting on that signing bonus because it seemed like he didn't get one for a bit, and then it's reported he got a $17 million one. So I think it's classic Brett Veach. It's a lot for a guard. I think that's my
Hmm.
first impression of it as a whole. But Tooney apparently can play all five positions on the offensive line if he needs to. He hasn't missed a game the last few years. He's been the highest rated guard on PFF for the last 3 years total. So the Chiefs are getting a guard that can just slot in, play well against the run and the pass. And I think that's really what they were looking for, guys to build the new offensive line around. And Tooney is a pretty good piece to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And there's some guys out there, Joshua Briscoe, him and I have kind of been talking about this, the whole day, just as the information has come in, how we feel about it. My first impression was that I like it. The number is a little high. I don't really enjoy paying, the highest guard in the league, but Patrick Mahomes needs protection, so I can kind of swallow that one a little bit better, right? The guards have not been the best in the Patrick Mahomes era, and getting him a nice solid guard to, as you said, Connor, build the offensive line around, I think is a great starting point for rebuilding this offensive line. And his ability to play all five positions is very attractive as well. And I know that some people worry about the value, right? Like that's kind of the big thing is like, what's the value of paying a guard this much money? What's the value of drafting a running back in the first round, right? Because those are two things that Patrick Mahomes wanted. The value of those two positions aren't quite as high as probably maybe they once used to be. But it's clear that the Chiefs don't maybe value positional value, I guess, value positional value as highly as other teams do. But when Patrick Mahomes wants him, they'll go get him. I think that that's important to see for this organization is okay, maybe like the value of this signing isn't as high as it could be, but I still think it will benefit on the field.
Right. And I don't know if it was, like I've seen some people even suggest on Twitter that Patrick Mahomes told them to go sign Joe Thuney. I don't think that's what happened here. I don't think
Right.
he even had a word to say in there other than them calling him after the deal was done and saying, hey, you got Joe Thuney. So I don't think he's got any say in that. What Mahomes did have a say in was his own contract. And I wrote about this in the piece. And like I said earlier, him giving the Chiefs the ultimate flexibility of a 12-year contract is what's causing stuff like this to happen. The Chiefs can do these things because Patrick Mahomes will cost under his market value for years to come still. So I'm fine with the Tooney deal. I would have liked to see. I know Corey Linsley got a nice deal too.
Hmm.
Came in lower than I thought. APY average per year. I would have liked that too. The Joe Thuney one's fine as well. The Chiefs have an out, I believe, after year three. They'll save around 8 million, eat 6 million in dead cap. So it's not too bad of an out after year three. That's of course if they don't restructure it, which Tucker, I think they might, considering they did
Yeah.
a full restructure of Chris Jones's deal, apparently, which I was very surprised to hear. So we'll see how that goes. Right now, the Chiefs have a lot of money still to spend.